All right, I think we're live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the live session. I'm James, and this is Richard, and thanks for being here today. So we'll be talking about um, the pros and cons of the two online teaching methods, courses and the memberships. So before we get started, please let us know in the comments if you can just let us know where you're tuning in, and tell us a little bit about yourself and yeah, and introduce yourself while we're getting more people to get into this live session. And then I will let Richard, maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit, and then I will cover mine. Then we're gonna get into it probably in 2 minutes from now.
Sure. Great. Hey, everyone. I'm Richard. So I have a business called Big World English, and my focus is coaching professionals who have speaking anxiety using English to grow their careers. And so my specific niche is based around this problem. Professionals who feel afraid to take a promotion, to take a job opportunity, something like that, because they don't believe they can do it with their English speaking abilities. So I make content for this audience. I also have a high ticket coaching program that's my main thing. I call it my masterclass, Big World English Masterclass. I also have a membership. It's Big World English Community, and that's part of what we'll share with you about today. But yeah, I've been working with James for a while, learned a lot from him, and so excited to share what I know with you today.
Thank you, Richard. Yes, we did have an interview not too long. No, actually, probably it's been a year now.
Wow.
Didn't feel that long. I can find it and share with you guys. It's an interview that I did with Richard. That was actually, I think that was the time right before, if I remember correct, right before you were going to launch your first digital course, right?
Hmm. Right.
Yeah.
So I launched my first digital course last March. So it's been over a year. And I've done a couple of versions of it since then, actually, like another launch as well. So I've done two launches. And then I opened my membership at the beginning of this year. So January 1st, basically.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. So I'm gonna just post that link to you guys. I'm seeing LinkedIn. I'm just gonna open LinkedIn to share with you guys the interview to the one I had with Richard over a year ago. Get inspired by what we talked about that. In that interview. All right. So yeah, I'm seeing quite a few people here already. So don't hesitate to introduce yourself, please, and let us know where you're tuning in, why you're here, what you want to find out, what you want to know about courses and versus memberships. Okay, so yeah, let me see here. Good. All right. So if you have any questions, just drop in the comments while we're talking, and we'll definitely get back to you later in this chat here. Okay. So first of all, I guess a lot of people here because they want to know what membership is, what courses is, because they're not very common or they're not traditional methods or model for teachers to follow. So it's quite obvious for teachers who wanted to, let's say, make more money online and supplement their income. They'll think about private tutoring, coaching, right, teaching, and either in person. No, you have a students, you have someone come to you and want to work with you. You just tutor them either one-on-one, like I'm doing a one-on-one tutoring, one-on-one teaching, or I'll group them and doing group tutoring. So this is kind of very straightforward for teachers to imagine because they are teaching already a classroom. Now I'm just going to teach one person or a small group of people together. That's very obvious and very easy for teachers to imagine how they will feel like feel about doing this. But when it comes to digital courses, even more complicated, like a membership, is really hard to conceptualize it, to really visualize what it looks like. So Richard, I mean, you're a teacher yourself, right? So if that's the experience you had, and what would be the best way for you to explain like the courses first, maybe to teachers? I think you can do a better job than I do explain that concept.
Sure. So the way that I think about this for my company is that I have an audience they have this specific problem around speaking anxiety, confidence to take the next opportunity. After meeting with these clients and having strategy sessions and doing research and trying to learn as much as I possibly could over several months, I got a pretty good idea of what their main problems were, and then reduced them down to about 8 big problems that I then turned into a 10-week program, working one-on-one with me, a coaching program. And so that's how I began everything, is from that point of view. And so thinking about having a digital course, then basically what you're doing is you're thinking about your digital course is higher up your sales funnel between you and your students. So if you're making content, if you're on social media, if you're trying to engage with new leads to bring them into your business, instead of just bringing them directly into a one-on-one tutoring opportunity, you're basically just bringing them into some kind of digital community where they have access to all kinds of resources or videos or lessons or whatever product you put together to help them solve those big problems. So I've done this a few different ways. I've organized it where in my low ticket, you get kind of an introduction to the content. And then in the high ticket, you get, 70, 80% more. Now I'm currently doing it where you get all the answers right up front. So in other words, the value that you get in the digital course is that you're able to access the answers, but just at a much affordable, more accessible price of $20 a month. That's my membership. But if the value to you is working directly with me, you want to actually have coaching sessions with me, then that's a different thing. And that's a different way to solve these problems from my business's perspective.
Yeah.
James, I don't know if you want to run with that or not, but
it's great. It's a great way to look at it. Digital courses. So to me, the way I look at it is, okay, why students need you, right? They need you to teach them something because you have the knowledge and you have the way of helping them, making sure they actually can learn and get what they need, right? So then one-on-one groups, digital courses, memberships are just different vehicles to deliver your knowledge, to pass on your knowledge to your students. You can have one-on-one sessions, just talk to them, help them. Of course, it's more customized, personalized support. Or you can have groups, small group. You get to talk to everyone in that small group, pass your knowledge, train them, teach them. Or digital courses, when you can digitalize your knowledge. This is the way you think about it. Is, okay, I'll get my knowledge here onto a video or onto a worksheet, right? So that I'm not needed in this process of delivering my knowledge and helping my students. Digital courses, of course, there are so many ways of composing a course now, make it more interactive, make it very effective, right? There are ways to do that. With a membership, so membership is the way that you can also download your knowledge, right, into some digital assets, materials, and then you can also create a community. You can also have a live sessions, in the community to help students. So these are different just because the way you pass on your knowledge to your students is different. The vehicle is different. Of course, the price is going to be different too, because if you do one-on-one, that's a whole hour, 2 hours of time, of your time past used to deliver. But if you do digital course, they're passive. No, you download them, you record a video talking about something you share that can be watched again and again, 100 times, 1,000 times, right? It doesn't cost you anything. Of course, that allows you to reduce your price, right? So that's how I feel, like just different ways of delivering your service and pass on your knowledge to help your students. So that's how it is, right? But as teachers, you shouldn't just limit yourself to, okay, one-on-one groups, because there are so many other ways. And we're going to talk about the benefits of the pros and cons between the membership and digital courses later on. But just wanted to, I think the purpose of this call, this chat, Today, we'll be just helping you guys see like more opportunities, what else you guys can do as a teacher, right? Not just, okay, I have to teach in classroom, I have to teach one-on-one teaching. No, you are professional. You are subject experts, right? You can really do a lot of different things. So what do you think about that way, Richard? How I explained it, does it make sense to you?
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, what you're doing is you're after you get a really good idea of who your niche is, what their main top problems are, then look at what are the ways how you solve those problems with them. So not what is the answer to the problem, not what is the solution, but how do you help them get the solution? That's what can differentiate you from your competition. That will be, for example, a student saying something like, I like the way that my teacher, their pronunciation, for example. Those kinds of things, you're looking at, okay, that's a part of the value of what you're selling from a business perspective. So if you make a list, all the things you can possibly think of, what brings value to the way that I'm helping solve this problem for my client? Is it they love my pronunciation? Is it they like the examples and the content itself? So then you begin to identify some things need me to be there. Well, that will be more expensive. So that would be in your high ticket or your tutoring, right? But for other things, it doesn't require you to be there. If it's your ideas, for example, then you can put your ideas down in many ways, a PDF, a video, right? And then you compile as many valuable things as you have that don't require you or require very little of you in a cost perspective. And then that becomes a low ticket. The difference is just, is it a membership that they're paying for every month, or is it something they buy one time and they get access to?
I like that. I like that. All right. So, what do you think, guys? It is a good explanation. I know probably it's not as clear as you wanted yet, right? We're gonna talk a little bit more about the deliveries, between digital courses and the membership, maybe other forms or of teaching, and also marketing. We're gonna talk about that in just a few minutes. So I'm seeing some people, some of you guys commenting. Marianne, Curry Island, hello, hello. So anyone who hasn't commented and introduce yourself, please do. Just let us see you. Introduce yourself to the audience here right now. And also a question from Kitty. So are courses or membership better for adults or business English, or could it work for younger students too? So we will talk about that in the students, in the deliveries. We do have some opinions on that, right? So stay around. We're gonna definitely come back to that question. And if you have enjoyed the interview so far, don't forget to click on the like button and let us help us promote this live session more. Okay. All right. So this kind of overview of digital courses membership, and I guess we want to move on to the next parts, is more specifically about the delivering your service, right, through digital courses and the membership. So I know, Richard, you did both basically. So think about the last year, right, when you worked on the digital course and the way you deliver it. Just talk about the way you deliver it with the digital course. How was it? How will you describe that, and so people can reimagine themselves doing the similar thing?
Yeah. Yeah, at first, my first digital course I put out, we did not have any like live sessions. There was no Zoom call. It was just a digital product. So in that product, there were 5 different lessons. They had 10-minute videos for each lesson, and kind of a small workbook of things to do in each lesson after the video. There's also, at the time, a community. It was basically just a forum that was part of the course where they could go and get direct access to me. And then about once a month, we would do a live call, but it wouldn't be a planned, consistent thing. It would be sort of a one-off sort of way to give them conversation practice, or to connect as a group, or just to have a sense of community building. So that was the first one. The launch went great when I first put it out. it was it was a lot of work to launch it from a marketing perspective, but in terms of delivery, it was very little work, just very little work, because it just exists there. And then students who liked my content and they just wanted more of my content, they could just purchase it. Uh, yeah, and I'm trying to think of James. I can't think of anything else about delivery because it was pretty low maintenance.
Yeah,
The
yeah, I think
the
that's
product.
so. Even with digital courses, there are many different kind of some varieties of there too. So I think in your case, at the beginning, when you launch your first digital course, so you try to minimize the minimize the interaction between you and the students. Right? A lot of teachers want that because I want to launch a digital course, so I don't have to be involved about
Mhm.
everything there, right? So that's totally fine. And I've seen people doing that. So I just bought a bunch of videos. I'll just watch it myself. I guess even like beyond the teaching industry, right? There are coaches, and even consulting. They all do this, right? I think one thing we have to be careful is if you're a teacher, and in order to deliver and get the good results for students, and then if your video is not good enough or the way you design it is not enough to get your student results yet, having some interaction with them and the support will be beneficial. So because that can definitely help some students get better results. I think that's the part that's one of the reasons you decided to kind of change it right after you launched the first version of the digital course, change it to a little bit different way. So do you remember what changes you made there? How you changed it?
Yeah, yeah. So the reason I originally went with that kind of digital course that had such minimal involvement, um, for me, my social media presence grew pretty quickly, and I got a pretty big audience, and I didn't know what the amount of work would be once I
Yeah,
launched this digital course. So I wanted something that I knew would be low maintenance no matter what, if it sold very little or if it went crazy. So that it was a scaling strategy, is my point. So that was very helpful to have James's help with that. But then later, I realized that I wasn't getting the kind of consistent. I was going to have to relaunch on it like a seasonal basis, the offer, remix the offer, or sell a new offer or something
yeah,
like that, which is a model with pros and cons too. But just as I was thinking about what I wanted, how I wanted my business to be set up, I realized that for me personally, I wanted to have more of a direct touch on the very front of my sales funnel. So I was before, with just the digital course, I was making content, but I wasn't managing the social media engagement because I have an assistant that does that. And so then from the top of my sales funnel all the way to my high ticket, I'm not really having much interaction with the journey unless a student from the digital course books a call with me in a strategy session. So I think part of in me building my business, I wanted to have my hands more in things and be a little
yeah,
more
yeah,
upfront.
yeah.
And so I did a relaunch of my old course, or my old digital course, and then that did okay. But then I started thinking about doing a membership, and that's when I changed to memberships, and now have been doing something different.
Yeah, that's good. So I guess what I wanted to highlight here is the first version of your digital course that was very passive. There's not much interaction between you and the students. I think one thing you realize that is that you actually miss that interaction, and probably that's not the best way to sustain and to keep your students get involved and continue working with you. So then the usually what people do is, okay, can I add more live sessions to my digital course, right? So you are able to do that. So whoever bought your course, they also have access to some live sessions with you, like once a week or even twice a month, or depending on the frequency you want to do. And then when you start adding live sessions And some people start adding community as well, because you do want to give the students more support, not only through the live sessions, what happens between the live sessions, right? That's why the people start adding community to the digital course. And then a very good question you're gonna ask, okay, if I sell this whole thing as a digital course, I'm making a one-time payment, one-time fee, and should I give people like limited access to the whole thing or a lifetime access, right? So if you do it, if you give your students limited access to your digital course with all the support, which is good, and then you need to think about how can I ask them to pay me more, continue to pay me after the limited time they have access to. Or if you give them lifetime access to your digital course and all the community, then you're gonna hate yourself because you're not making money, but you're keep pumping in like money because the time, right, to work with them. So that's why when teachers start adding live sessions, adding community to the digital course, that could be a good opportunity for them to change it to membership, so that the students can pay you every month, right? So that benefits your business because it really encourages you to be more active in the group because you are making money. You want them to keep paying you, right? And also you can reduce the price of a digital course to even less. So instead of let's say $200 to get access to my digital course, now you can just pay $30 because I expect you to stay at least 6 months, 7 months, right? Even more if you want to continue working with me. So these are the benefits. So when teachers start adding live sessions, community, I think that might be the time to think about a membership, right? To generate recurring revenue to actually enable you, right? Deliver your services, spend time on the community, on the live sessions that you're delivering, you're adding to the course. So that's how I feel about the transition you're making, like why you're making this process, because from now, no interaction at all to adding more, then it makes more sense to do membership.
Yeah, it's just fit better with my goals and for my business. And I think doing a membership, what I like about it, so the way my membership works is it's $20 a month and you get all of my digital courses and lessons and products. It's like over 12 hours of videos and recordings and, there's 20 plus pages of PDFs of material and resources and things I've made for my students. And so it's a ton of stuff. That's just the online part. We also meet for an hour every Friday. So I have an hour-long session for any of the members. So if 2 people come, I teach 2 people. If 50 people come, I teach 50 people. And that's just how I prepare. And so we record all of that material and we just keep adding it into the membership. And so it's a sweeter deal. It's a cheaper option. It's a more accessible price point. That was another piece for me, is that my old digital course was priced at $127 on, typically that was what we sold it at. And for my audience is spread around the world, and only really maybe 10% of my audience lived in a economy where that price point made sense. And so because of my specific business's audience, I was not getting the conversion rate in my sales. So the other benefit of this membership model is that I was able to go from a 1% of 1% conversion rate to a 3.5% conversion rate. And so it's a friendlier price point if you're trying to sell this all around the world and your niche isn't specifically in Canada, for example, where $127 isn't expensive, in Vancouver, right? But in India, that's a lot. So it depends on your market. So delivery of the membership is a little more there, but I'm able to build relationships with people every week that I'm really helping them with their English, and it's a win-win for them. And when the time comes for them to need my high ticket, then we now have a context and a relationship instead of they're just
Yeah,
a line on a Google sheet from a sale that I made of someone who bought a digital course.
absolutely, absolutely.
So I have preferred that. It's just it fits me better and the way I like to teach and the way I like to do business and um, you
Yeah,
know, yeah,
yeah, yeah. I think that speaks for many teachers, right? They like doing teaching. They like to have these interactions with the students. Um, so going back to the deliveries, I just want to help you guys really kind of feel like how feels like when you have a digital course, when you have a membership. Like what are the tasks maybe like when you have students with a digital course, we have students with a membership, right? So as I said, so the in terms of the way you help students, the digital course can have live sessions, can have community too. But when you have live session community, maybe it makes more sense to have it as a membership. So some teachers sell digital course with live sessions community, just one price point. That's fine. It's fun, but it wouldn't make a lot of sense because some people might just pay once, stay in your digital course, join a live session, and use your time in your community for 10 years. It does not make sense, right? So having a membership could make more sense. But then before we move on to marketing, we can talk about launches, all that. So for delivery, Richard already highlighted a lot of the engagement, all that. So with digital course, basically what happens is your students, let's say your students buy your course and they pay you and they get access to the course. And the course can consist of many different things, okay? Not just videos. Videos is good. People can just watch the videos and take notes and learn what you teach them. Just like in person, what you would say to them anyways. You just record them and they're gonna watch it, and then they can download homework, right? They can do the homework. Although if you don't provide or you don't give them access to you that much, you don't review the homework, they probably wouldn't have anyone review the homework, right? If reviewing homework is very important for you, maybe you have to add something to the digital course so that you can review the homework, right? And there are many ways with technology. Right now it's easy, like the student can just submit the homework and you're gonna see it, and then you just make notes, record a video or whatever, and send it back. So there's no like live interaction. You know what I mean? So that creates flexibilities for teachers too. So you don't have to do it at a certain hour, right? So students watch the video, they can download the homework, do the homework, and there are other like you can do quizzes, you can do quizzes. You can already quiz, and the quiz can be automatically corrected. So the student can already see after they submit the quiz, they can already see what is right, what is wrong, right? So then you can also do audios, and some teachers do have videos, audios, and MP3, right? MP3, and also scripts. So they can for people don't have time to watch the videos, they can just print out the script, you can read it, right? There are many ways for digital courses, but you can see that, right? It doesn't really need you that much. They have all the information, your videos, your worksheets, your templates, everything, and they don't need you that much. But that's the part you missed, right, Richard? That's why you are adding these live sessions. Then you're turning a membership. So this is
right,
digital course. How students, from a student's perspective, what it looks like, and from your perspective as a teacher, you don't really do too much. So
right,
that was the case. You when you first had your first version, you didn't really submit much with the
right,
students. You got right.
right, right. Yeah. And that we actually have a good question from Missy. What happens during Friday meetings with students? So the reason I chose to do like so if you have a membership and you're going to include live sessions with members, you could do once a month, you could do once a week, right? Again, these are all decisions that you want to make about how do I help my niche solve their problems and do it in such a way that's the right balance of low cost to you, but benefiting your business, but helping them meet the need, right? So one of the things that we just when we got feedback from the original digital course that we did before the membership, some of the feedback was just people wanted to work with me directly. That was a big reason why they wanted to do business with me. So I wanted to think of a way that I could still scale a low ticket digital offer if it was a course or a membership, so that I could have 500 members or something, but not multiply my time. And so for me, I knew an hour a week is nothing for a something so important like the top of my sales funnel, and a big, growing income base for my business, right? It's a very valuable thing. And so I wanted to treat it with that. And having that 1 hour Friday every week, from the student's perspective, it's like, okay, I can pay $20 a month and I get an hour with Richard every week. We also have bonus conversation sessions. It's like every couple of weeks, we'll do a 30-minute just sort of bonus. I get all of his stuff, all of his material. I get a one-to-one strategy session with him. Just when you want to think about it from your student, your customer's perspective, the deal needs to be so sweet that they would feel dumb saying no to it. That's the Hormozy idea, right?
Yeah.
And so you want your that I knew would be a really sweet thing for my audience, that they would really, really like that. And so an hour of my time every week basically is what I spend on this, but it's an important hour. And then the rest of the time I spend maintaining or delivering it really is my own internal stuff, like upselling or reaching out to students and that kind of thing. Absolutely. In the membership. Yeah,
absolutely. So now we talk about digital course. I want to kind of picture how it feels, how it looks like when you run membership. Okay, so when you run membership, very similar to digital course, but depending on what you offer, right? In Richard's case, right, he has these Friday meetings, and then the students can join these live sessions. If they don't join, they can receive recordings, they can watch at their own time. And besides that, so the students will have on-demand resources, like digital course, digital products, videos, all that. And they also have these live sessions to attend. And then they also usually have a community, just picture a Facebook group, right? All these people pay you monthly. They get to invited to this group, and then they can post, they can comment on things, they can have fun with each other, not just with you. I think that's the part I like membership a lot compared to one-on-one or even groups or even digital course. If you don't have a lot of interaction between students, right? I think that actually a lot of value that doesn't cost you anything. You see here, right? You are connecting people together, and that generates value, generate relationship, connections, and then that doesn't cost you anything. But they're gonna thank you for that because you put them together, you get them together, right? So some of our clients, their students that get married, get married because our clients, because they bring these students together, right? So that is the value. Think about, I'm paying $20 and then I found my wife. Right? So it can happen. So this is added value when you have a community with the students. Of course, as I said, when you have a community, when you have a live session, it makes more sense to run membership because you get incentivized. I'm making money. I want a higher retention rate. I want people to stay. Right? You're gonna do a better job helping them. So this is kind of deliveries. How, from the student's perspective, how the digital courses and membership feels like, right? Feel like. Any questions, guys? Any questions so far? Just in terms of delivering, right? Delivering your service through digital course and the membership, it's very different from doing one-on-one. You get online at a certain time, you talk to your student for 30 minutes, 1 hour, you get on another one. I know some teachers, they have like, they fully booked, they talk to 10 students a day, right? But what if the 10 students can be your membership, right? You can still help them, right? So these are the questions you have to ask yourself. Can I change the way I do it so I can earn more, have more freedom, more flexibility, right? And still getting students results and making more affordable, which is your point, Richard, right? So when
Right.
you charge like $100, $200 an hour, and then not everyone can afford it. But if you run a membership, at $20 a month, boom, you just open up so much bigger
Right.
market, and you get to help them, right?
Mhm.
And they wouldn't have had the opportunity to work with you if you hadn't had this membership available for them.
Right.
Yep.
We
Um,
have one question about the younger students. Do you want to talk about that for delivery
yeah,
or
yeah,
for?
we can talk about that. I mean, maybe you can comment on that first, Richard. What do you think about
Yeah.
that?
You know, I've I don't really know. I think that I would have to look at the specific niche, like what is the
Yeah,
challenge that the students are
yeah,
facing? What's the problem you're solving? And then looking at how you solve the problem. So that's the second part. And then looking at if how you're solving it makes sense to your niche and can help them. Then you divide the value out and you divide it in terms of you make a big list of all the things that are valuable about you to your niche and the way that you help them solve their problem. And then you divide it into which of these things cost the most. Well, your time will be the first one. Your time will cost the most. So if you can help kids without giving them your time through a digital product, then for sure, go for it. And a membership, even. The thing with kids is we're not selling to kids, we're selling to their parents.
yeah,
So you have the problems of your clients are children, what children are dealing with, um, and the problem that of course by proxy causes the parent. And so the selling and marketing is a little more nuanced than
yeah,
selling directly to an adult.
yeah,
Um, but I imagine that it could work. There's lots of creative ways to
yeah.
use
Absolutely,
memberships. Yeah.
absolutely. I like what you
Yeah.
said there. It really depends on the audience. So I think it's easier for teachers working with the adults to have a membership because the students is the one paying for the program, and then they can benefit more from community, from live sessions, right? All that together. With the children, depending on how you design the membership, if you were to have one. Right now, for example, we have a client doing arts, and then it's great to group these kids together and do things together, right? And then it makes more sense to do a membership. They get to join maybe 2 3 different sessions. Any they can choose any of these, join every week, right? Just different activities, and then these kids enjoy that, and then they pay monthly to continue, right? So yeah, and I know Katie is teaching English. I know Katie. So with English, depending on, let's say, if you do reading, like kind of a reading club, a book club, it can be a great membership, book club, right? And design activities. But if you teach, let's say, pronunciation or grammar, these things, with the kids, it's really hard because maybe one-on-one is the best way to help them. Maybe not even digital course, digital product. So it depends on what you do and how you do it. So I wouldn't say, oh, it doesn't work for kids or younger learners or younger students. It really depends on the topic and how you deliver it, right? But end of the day, the results is the key here. We want the results. Whatever you offer, digital courses, and membership, one-on-one group coaching, whatever you offer, if you don't get students' results, you don't get the parents' results, you're not going to have a good business, right? So that's the key. And when you're not sure, you can pilot to try something. Maybe let's say you group some of your one-on-one, you just tell some of your one-on-one students, hey, I'm piloting this. I'm gonna do it for a month for free with you guys. I want to get feedback from you at the end of the week, at the end of the month. Pilot it, right? Test it, and it's free. People are gonna join and give you feedback. If they, oh, I love it, it really works, it give you more confidence, right, to do it. So pilot and test it, right? Yeah.
That's a
So
really good point. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, the membership that I'm on, everyone keep in mind, this has been over a year of figuring out the top part of my sales funnel, what's best for my business. They're all good options, but me trying to figure out what's best has taken me over a year. So this is a long game. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. All
Uh,
right, so we're gonna we're gonna quickly move on to marketing. I know there are some more questions here. I do want to remind you guys a few things before we move on. So one thing is I want to remind you of the workshop I'm gonna do in on. Let me show you guys. Okay, on May 23rd. All right, I'm gonna share the link with you. Register. So this is a workshop, a 2 hour workshop, free workshop I'm hosting on May 23rd. Okay, turn your teaching expertise into recurring monthly income. So this is the session specifically. This is session specifically for membership. So what type of membership? How the real world membership look like? And how you can align your membership and what membership idea you can have, right? So I think that's the question a lot of you guys probably have. Okay, I want a membership, but what I can do for membership? So join this session. Join this session. 2 hours is on May 23rd, 11 a.m. Eastern time. That will be 4 p.m. UK, 5 p.m. CET. So the last 2 hours, okay? Block 2 hours for it. If you can't join the live session, register too, so I can send you the recording. If you don't register, we're not gonna send the recording to you, okay? So I'm gonna send you the link here. Send the link here, okay, to you guys. Register. Make sure you register, okay? It's on May 23rd. It's a free 2 hour session, and if you cannot join live, register to get the recording, the replays, okay? So that's number one. Number two, I mention this every time. We have this event homepage. Make sure you bookmark this event homepage. No, let me see here. Yeah, bookmark the event homepage. It has all the events that happen in your business, free events. Am I sharing it right now? Let me see here. Yep. So all the events, for example, right now we are having this one, right? Courses membership, and you have all the we have another events with Kelly from Classroom to CEO. Kelly runs a private tutoring business. She has 160 students. Okay, she has quite a few teachers working for her, and she was a primary teacher in the UK previously. She built her business here, and I'm gonna interview her to help you guys understand the path. Can you have your own tutoring business? Right? How she did it, right? So it's on May 5th. That's a Sunday. That's going to be the very first time I'm going to do a live session on Sunday. I'm going to test this time, whether or not it's going to be better for our audience on Sunday, okay? Then this is the workshop here. And we made something even more. This time we have created a link, okay? So this is a link where you can add, you can sync our monthly event to your calendar. Okay, click on the link I'm going to share with you, or you can find it on the top of the page. You can sync all of our future events by a calendar to your calendar. It will automatically update it when we add more events, so you wouldn't miss any events in the future if you use this link to sync our calendar to your calendar. Okay, it's awesome. All right, so many people just think, oh, James, I missed the session because the time zone now is synced on your calendar. Okay, guys, let me just share this link with you guys one more time. Get these links, okay? Do it. And Kitty, subscribe to the calendar. Thank you. You don't need anything. Just click and subscribe, and you can remove it anytime in the future. Okay. So it's so convenient. Okay, so convenient. I wish I had known much earlier. Okay. So just some couple of things I want to remind you. I know a lot of people are watching right now, so I want to make sure you guys know about this. Now, okay. So there's some questions too. We're gonna quickly talk about marketing. It wouldn't take much time. So marketing, digital courses, and the membership, the marketing strategies are similar because usually they are like low tickets, meaning that lower price. No, when Richard sold his digital course at 100, 200, that's actually pretty high across all the digital courses I'm seeing from teachers. Most teachers doing digital courses are around $100 for digital courses, and most people are doing membership between probably $20 to $50 per month for memberships. Okay, so that's cheaper. So then the benefits of being cheaper is that you don't have to do a lot of sales effort to get people in, right? And some of you guys work with us, if you do high ticket one-on-one, meaning you sell your one-on-one groups at a couple $100, even $1,000, $2,000, you have to do calls. Like you have to get people to a call, talk to them, and then convert them, sell them the product. But when you have a low ticket like a membership, like digital course, you just can sell with a landing page automatically. You just need to direct people to a landing page, and landing page sells itself. So that's going to be much less effort. And another good point is, Richard pointed out earlier, is the conversion rate going to be higher because more people can afford it now. Yeah, those are benefits. So anything else you want to comment on, Richard, or I didn't comment when it comes to marketing for setting these?
Yeah, when thinking about marketing, I have a virtual assistant who does a lot of messaging for me with interested leads. This is across social media, email, all of it. And there's a good return on my investment and her time. And so there are lots of ways that you can promote, even through direct messaging, like you might do for a high ticket or a tutoring thing.
Yeah.
That's another way that doesn't cost much, and you can really build more of an organic base of subscribers that way through just having those text conversations. Like, again, you're looking for, how can I do this and do it cheaper? Because being on a Zoom call or even a phone call is in a way more expensive than texting somebody or DMing somebody, and even less expensive if you hire someone to do it, who doesn't cost as much as you do. And so that's one way that I promote my low ticket. I also promote it consistently through social channels. About once a week, I'll do a call to action that's just one story. It's just an image, and it just has what's in the subscription, a link, what it is. That's pretty much all I do. And we've been able to see just like a consistent trickle in of new members every month. It's been, pretty consistent. So lots of ways to promote it, but they're not costly.
Yeah, absolutely. So actually, there's a comment for some reason didn't show up in our window right now. So it's on LinkedIn from Sohila. She actually asked about let me see here. Ask about how do you launch your course? Do you only use emails or use other media or channels? I think you already answered that: social media, emails, right? So that these are common places you promote your courses and the membership, right?
Yeah. So I have at the top of my funnel Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube. Those are the four social channels that I use.
Yeah.
They just made more sense for my audience, and for whatever reason, that's what I've landed on. And then the way that I think about email is, I think about email as like free content layer number 2. So it's like there's social media, and then I'm trying to get everyone onto a newsletter. And then the newsletter is its own level of free, special, valuable content that you don't get in my social media. And then from there, through that, mainly my newsletter, and then through messaging that my assistant does, and then occasional calls to action on Instagram. That's the extent of how I promote it.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, answers the question. Yeah, so when it comes to marketing, there are a couple of things we already mentioned. The benefits of being lower tickets, but the thing is, we make it low is not because we don't want to. It's not because we're not worth more. We are able to charge lower for digital course for membership. It's because you are smart enough to remove you from the service delivering, a vehicle, right? And then you are not spending time. So we want to make sure we are making what we're worth, right? If you have some time, that's why if you are teaching one-on-one, you do need to increase price because there's a time you spent. But with digital courses, with the membership, that allows you to charge cheaper because you don't get involved that much, or it's shared by so many people. When you, let's say, have a 50 members paying you $20 a month, that's $1,000. And what you do in your case, Richard, right? You just show up on Friday evening, 1 hour per week. That'll be like 4 weeks, 4 hours per month, right? To make that $1,000, and that will be $250 per hour if you do that calculation, right?
Right.
So you still make much more, although the product is cheaper because we're looking at the volume of each sale, right? You get. I just want to make a comment on that, so people don't think, oh, James, aren't you always tell us to charge more and more? It's yes, we need to charge more and more, and digital courses and the membership allows you to actually increase your hourly rates with the volume you get by reducing your involvement, your time spent working with the students.
Right. Right. It's all about this balance of how do you get your niche results
Exactly.
through your actual academic content or product or service. How do you get that to scale? Because you're selling to the internet, you're not just selling to the corner of a neighborhood, right? So the marketplace is massive. And if one day your business pops off, when it does, you want to have everything set up so that at the very top of the funnel, people can still compensate you for value that you can offer to them that doesn't require you to be present. It also doubles as a way to grow trust with those people, because they're seeing, if you think about it from their perspective, if they come across your Instagram, for example, and they see a reel and they really like your reel and they decide to follow you and they don't think about you again for 3 weeks. And then another reel of yours pops up in their feed, and then they click on your page and they're checking you out because you're speaking to them. They're in your niche. And then they click on your link in bio, and then they go to the landing page, right? You're beginning to build trust with that person, with that relationship. And then the moment that they get your freebie, or right, they put in their email to get on your newsletter, now they've given you permission to contact them. Exactly. So you're thinking about this person all the way to the very end of their purchase journey with you, where they've paid you thousands of dollars for coaching and live sessions and programs and one-on-one. But all of that started way, way back in a membership. So that's the big part of the strategy here, is that with the marketplace of the internet, you can set up a sales funnel that makes sense for the potential kinds of numbers and traffic that you can get.
I love it. Okay. So we have a few minutes left. Let's just answer some questions here, okay, to make sure all the questions are answered. Okay, so there's a question from Bash. So it's about digital course. Regarding your digital course, if the cost is under $300, what is your advice on whether we include 1, 2, 3 pillars? And yeah, what do you say here?
So she's talking about if you have taken the 21-day challenge and you've picked out your niche, then you've tried to find kind of the top 3 pillars of your offer to them, meaning the top 3 solutions that you would give to their main problems. So in doing that work, for my niche and for my audience and for their needs and their problems, I like to give them all pillars, even in my social media. Like, in other words, now this is important. Let me be really clear. You want to think about, again, if you make a list of the value of what you're offering to your niche, there's going to be some things, right? Like, if I'm only giving you the top 3 things in the list, that's one way to divide up the value in your funnel, right? So you're asking, if I make a low ticket course, a membership, or just a digital course, do I just give them pillar 1 of the solutions that I offer? Because the strategy there is that they take your digital course, they knock out pillar 1, they got results, and now they feel the need to book a call with you to go do your coaching program, for example, to get pillars 2, 3, 4, 5. That's one way you can do it. If you think it makes sense, again, you want to listen to your audience and understand them very well. If that you feel like matches their needs and the way that you can deliver it to them best, it's one way to do it. The way that I'm doing it is I'm putting the solutions to all of my niche's problems, like pillars 1, 2, 3, I'm putting them in my newsletter all the way up front. This is another way to do it. The idea is that you want the person who engages with your content when they've given you nothing. They've not given you even their email, for example. And to solve all their problems for free, now there's a kind of psychological thing that's happening where they begin to feel like they owe you something in a way, right? Then they start to look for the course or look for the membership. My dad sells roofs. He works with insurance companies. He'll go repair small leaks and things for free at, $300 normally a roofer would charge. He just does it for free. 9 months later, that person calls my dad for a $10,000 roof. It's kind of that idea. So I put pillars 1, 2, and 3 up front.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a common concern a lot of teachers have. What if I already give them everything? Why would they still want to work with me? So that's not true, because information is not worth anything. Information doesn't worth it's not worth anything. So there's so much information out there people can get easily on YouTube, on other free courses out there. So the value you're delivering is not information, right? Is the results that you allow your student to get by giving them support, giving them teaching, helping them, and right, encourage them, help them build confidence, a mindset. Right? That's why a lot of teachers say, "Oh, I don't feel like I'm teaching them anything. I'll just kind of cheer them up and tell them they can do it." Yeah, that's the value. That's why people are paying you, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, I think that's a really good answer. Let's quickly move on to the next one. Lisa, what is the best way to deliver these services? Is there an all-in-one solution? If I understand you correctly, Lisa, so you are talking about all the things we mentioned, like courses, membership, community, and even live sessions. Yes, there are all-in-one solutions, but of course, it's gonna cost you money. If you don't want to spend too much money, you can just have these pieces yourself. For example, using Facebook group for live sessions and community, and using a Google Drive for these courses, right? Some teachers start with that. It's totally fine. But if you want to improve your students' experience, of course, you can pay for it. If you can afford it, that's great. So next one, Heather. Hello, Heather. Excited to be here while my husband works on his 21 challenge. James is all over my house. Thank you. Appreciate that. It happens. A lot of teachers, when they do 21 challenge, they just keep mentioning me. Then no, thanks for that. I really appreciate it. How many members roughly would come to a live video session? How do you give each person time to ask their questions? Yeah, what do you think, Richard, with this one?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I probably have anywhere from 10 to 20% of my members actually come to sessions.
Wow, that's pretty high.
So think about, you said high, James?
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Yeah. So think about like the trick with memberships. It's kind of like selling a gym membership, right? Like 9 out of 10 people probably aren't using their gym membership. I don't know what the math is, but there's an idea here that let's say you get 200 people in your membership, 100 people in your membership. You're probably not going to get more than 15 people on a call at any one time. So I end up having, these great small groups every week. People I now know by name. I see them consistently. They keep coming back. I mean, it really does feel like a community, people meeting each other from all over the world that see each other regularly. And, but it's the minority of the people who are actually subscribed.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. So you have to think about this. Not everyone has the time, and not everyone has this as a priority. Everyone has so many other commitments, right? So that's why 20-30% show up rate is pretty high to me. That's good. Katie, maybe offer 1 unit or lesson of course membership for free and the feedback to offer. Yeah, totally fine. If you want to do that, if you are doing a course, you can offer part of it. A lot of people do that. Hey, take the first unit for free. Then if you like it, decide to buy for the rest, right? That's totally fun. But if you do membership, I probably would just give them a full experience because you want the feedback, like how do you
Yeah.
feel about the membership, right? So it's the course, it's a one-time thing. You might worry, okay, they just have a full course and all of them would they pay me in the future? But with the membership, it's on a monthly basis. If they don't subscribe, they don't pay, they don't get what's happening next month, right? So that would be, I think, case by case. So that makes sense to you too, right, Richard? Yeah.
Yeah. Missy has a good question. Are you constantly making or updating new worksheets, quizzes, videos? Actually, no. Um, I just, it took a long time to make this material, all of the material for sure.
Yeah.
But save everything that you ever make. Save everything, every
Like,
worksheet, every video, and then just organize it, keep it organized. But no, because of the way it's laid out, they're just like lessons that you can access at any time. I also have a podcast in there. There's all of the recorded live sessions are in there. These different tools and things that I've made for my students are in there. So it's a bunch of stuff. It's not just lessons. There's like different categories of things that they get. And yeah, if I make something new for like a marketing purpose or something else, and it makes sense to throw in the membership, I just add it and I just keep adding value into it because again, it doesn't cost me anything and it only makes it more valuable for the student.
absolutely, absolutely. All right, we're at the top of the hour now. Thanks everyone for being here, and hope you enjoyed our session today. Before you go, don't forget to click on the like button if you enjoyed our session. You had a lot of takeaways from this session, and we have more coming. That's why I want to remind you guys again the workshop. Right? If you haven't registered, I'm sending the link one more time. Register. It's gonna be May. It's gonna be on May 23rd. 2-hour session about membership. Okay, and then bookmark our homepage. There are a few live sessions every month, right? Bookmark it. You're gonna take a look at all the sessions happening in this month and next month, and there's a link to sync your calendar with our calendar, so you never miss a single session. How wonderful the technologies are, okay? And you leverage technology, make your life and your students' life easier. And that's why we talk about membership and digital courses that allows us, teachers, everyone, to deliver your service, to help your students, to make more money, to make more impact, to help more students with technologies. And thank you very much, guys, for being here. And thanks, Richard, for
You're welcome.
great talk today. And follow Richard, please, on LinkedIn, on the platform. Look for Big World English. You'll find him. He does a great job putting content out there, right? Give him a follow. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye, guys.
See you later.